Hello everybody, my name is Chase here, and I'm tired of good movies. With their incredible settings, fleshed out characters, clever jokes, creative ideas, and well-written dialogue, it's exhausting. So much quality is taking its toll on me. So I've decided I want to watch something that has none of those things. That's right, it's time to take a journey into Disney Channel movies.
Don't lie, you watched the shit out of these things. It doesn't even matter if you thought they were good. What mattered is that they were on TV, and that's that. Don't argue with the mouse. And what's funny is that even with the nostalgia, most of us agree that these things are not very good. I think there's a few that managed to be pretty solid, but most of them were either so bad that they were hilarious, or so forgettable you completely forgot they existed.
You don't remember Bad Hair Day, neither do I.
But forgettable isn't enough. I need the worst of the worst. Something so unbelievably bad, it gives me a physical reaction. So with that, I introduce Frenemies. Now this is what I like to call first class shit. You know that there's no quality to be had when even the title makes you cringe. Feels like something right out of 2012 and how did I guess? Now this is where I'd put my DVD copy of this movie.
If I had one!
But to my knowledge, Frenemies has never gotten a DVD release. I don't know why, I guess it was just that bad. Thank God for Disney Plus, I guess.
I'm so excited.
The movie begins by giving us an idea of what we're going to be experiencing for the next hour and a half.
Hey, I'm Hallie. My best friend and I, that's her by the way, the cute redhead, we created this awesome webzine, Geekly Chic. Hey, I'm Avalon. We had tons of fun writing the articles, doing all the graphics, everything. Until it almost turned us from best friends into total enemies. Frenemies. Has that ever happened to you and your best friend?
Yes! Don't look at me like that.
So this movie has 3 different stories about 3 different sets of friends, which on the surface sounds unique, but in reality just means that the movie doesn't have a very consistent story. Like, make fun of Radio Rebel all you want, but at least it's consistently shit. So the first story involves a boy named Jake and his dog Murray. The story actually starts with a really well thought out joke that has a lot of different layers and nah, I'm just kidding, the dog farts in his face.
Oh, Murray, that reeks!
So Jake and Murray are best friends, and you know that because they eat food together.
Gee, I'd never know you two were best friends.
By the way, that's Nick Robinson playing Jake, who would go on to do much more serious roles like The Fifth Wave, a teacher, and I'm not gonna say it. So Jake is a smart cookie, which him and his mom explained to us in some really not subtle exposition.
Mom, has the mail come yet?
I know you're expecting that science space thingy from NASA.
It's not a science space thingy. It's an award from NASA for outstanding work in molecular astrophysics.
So while Jake is at school, he's approached by Julianne, the popular girl who offers to partner with him to work on a project, but in reality is only using him so he'll do all the work. Oh, by the way, bitchy popular girl who wears pink whose only character trait is shopping and looking good? Check. Young nerdy boy who's smarter than everybody else for no discernible reason? Check. Girl best friends who are obsessed with fashion, blogging, and social media?
I think I got preteen movie bingo.
This isn't part of the bingo, but Jake has some really annoying friends that aren't even slightly funny.
She is so into you.
No, it's just science.
It's more like chemistry.
That joke was not fist bump worthy.
So Julianne comes over to Jake's house to work on their project, but Murray overhears Julianne talking on the phone to her friend about how she's using Jake, prompting this response. Did she just fucking hiss at the dog? Like, I get popular girls are bitchy, but geez, that's just excessive. She goes out of her way to threaten the dog too. Like, don't you have better things to do? So Jake, Julianne, and Murray go to the park, and Julianne throws a tennis ball in an attempt to make the dog go away for a while. Okay, so like, ignoring how terrible that compositing looked, that's actually not what bothers me. What bothers me is, why was that even necessary? Like, she's just throwing a ball. Why not? Oh, I don't know. Throw a ball? Like, was no one in the entire production crew able to throw a ball that far? Also, a throw that hard would not land that softly in that girl's lap. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. This is Savannah, a girl who we'll talk about later, as she's got her own weird story to talk about, but for now, all we need to know is that she's got a crush on Jake because she's weird. So we know she's gonna end up with him. She returns Murray to Jake just as Julianne asks him to be her boyfriend. You know, this seems like a lot of extra work if she just wants the project. Like, you could have just cut this part out of your master plan and not much would change. But I guess it doesn't matter, as they're a couple now, and he must dress nicely for his new girlfriend.
Bored like Jughead, that works too.
But it seems that Murray has trashed Jake's room and made Julianne sit in paint. So she swears revenge on Murray. So in her foolproof master plan, she sprays Jake's NASA award with her perfume so the dog will flush it down the toilet and... Wait, how did you know this was gonna work?
This is the worst thing you've ever done. You're the worst dog. I hate you. Get out of here. Get out!
Get out of here! I don't want you anymore! Yo! Just go!
The fuck?
So Savannah finds Murray roaming the streets, and instead of taking him back to Jake's house, considering she knows where he lives, she takes him home with her and looks through yearbooks with the dog.
Jake Logan, president of the Science Club. Found him. But you think I marked this page because I like Jake? Nuh-uh.
You know, like normal people do.
While that's going on, Jake's mom decides to have a talk with Jake about the situation.
Jake, I know you're mad at him, but he's still your best friend.
Mom, we were best friends. Now we're enemies.
Frenemies.
I think a part of me just died.
So Savannah sees Julianne call another boy her boyfriend and becomes suspicious. So she decides to follow her in the most unsubtle way possible. Like, Savannah, you go to this school, just walk normally. What are you doing? But I guess she was successful because she finds out that Julianne has another boyfriend and she's using all three to get good grades.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
And Jake finally pulls his head out of his ass and realizes what's going on and breaks up with Julianne. And on top of that, Savannah pulls up with Julianne's two other boyfriends.
This little stunt of yours may have cost me some A's, but if you think it's gonna make you any more popular, wrong. You will always be weird.
You've spun your last web, Spider-Man.
The science project is done. So are we.
We're done just as soon as you hand me that project, partner. Jake, no, she doesn't deserve it.
Just don't give it to her. It's not an ultimatum. There's nothing at stake!
It doesn't matter anyway, as Murray pushes Julianne over breaking the project and then he pees on it for good measure, which makes it short out because I guess his piss is fucking radioactive. Jake and Murray become friends again, and all's well that ends well. Well, for them, not for me.
Well, that was awful. Really getting that no quality. And we're not even halfway done. We still got 2 more stories to cover. So let's not waste any more time and get into Act 2.
So the second story is about a young girl named Hallie, along with her best friend who lives right next door to her, Avalon. You know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna call them Rocky and Cece, because let's be honest, that's who they're playing. In fact, I have a theory that the entire reason that this movie exists is because this is a failed Shake It Up movie that never got made, and they just stapled on 2 more stories and called it artistic.
I mean, do you have a better theory?
So Rocky and Cece have a fashion blog called Geekly Chic, because of course they do, and are trying to spread the word of their blog to the rest of the world. But this kid named Walker, who runs the school paper, rejects their advert for the site.
What is this? We paid for an ad for Geekly Chic in the school paper.
Yes, and as senior editor of that school paper, I have a standard of quality to uphold.
I mean, I'm on his side. Look at what they post.
Working till the moon is shining, guys fly, girl. Never thought I'd say it. On top of the world, I feel on top of the world. Hey,
But Rocky and Cece fight back in an attempt to keep the advertisement in the paper.
Look, we even have business cards.
Oh no, not the business cards!
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god. It even has a watermark.
Get out of here, Patrick! It's Disney!
Something I want to mention is that in every scene with this kid Walker, he always has these 2 goons with him, and they never say a single word, they just stand there and look confused all the time. Somebody get this boy some direction. But later, they get a call from a publishing company who wants to publish their blog for some reason. So they go to New York City to meet with their CEO, which is probably the only funny character in this movie. In fact, she even made a joke that made me laugh.
There will be red dots everywhere.
Don't they sell creams for that?
I refuse to laugh a second time.
So she wants to publish their blog, but she only wants one of them to be a part of it.
That's
adorable. I hate it.
What? Why?
Because if I buy your webazine, I plan on staffing it with my own underpaid web designers.
Brought to you by capitalism. So she decides that both of them will write a story and the one that she thinks is better will get the job. So they compete to get an interview with this French singer named Jean Frank, but his concert is sold out, so they resort to other measures to get a ticket.
Hey, team! Expert fashion advice in exchange for a Jean Frank ticket?
Nobody made a joke. That wasn't funny. Why do people high-five each other over stuff that isn't funny?
Walker decides to help Cece get a ticket because he knows a guy.
Oh, actually, you might be interested to know that I have a cousin in France whose roommate happens to be the nephew of the guy whose daughter is engaged to the dry cleaner who fluffs and folds all of Jean Frank's clothes.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
But she tells Rocky about the ticket and how she got it like an idiot, so she calls in and puts a ticket under her name instead, causing a big fight. Through the window.
You're not getting that interview. That cover story is mine. It's mine. I can't believe we were ever BFFs. Best friends for never? Good one, Frank much? Talk much?
You know, why do people?
So Cece reprograms their GPS and gets there before Rocky and starts the interview. But Rocky crashes through the window and interrupts them, causing another insufferable fight.
Like, why am I telling you, question stealer? Ticket stealer? Give me back my question. Why? I'm the only one who can talk. Oh, if her do, and you'd better reprogram J-Lo, or else what she's gonna vote me off of? Idol?
Hey, stop it, all right? You two are giving me a headache.
Wait, what happened to your French accent?
It's really Johnny Frankowski. I couldn't get anyone to listen to my music here, so I tried Paris. That's when I decided to do the French thing, you know? Just to look cool back home.
Wow, this movie is really pushing the boundaries of social commentary. So they fly all the way back to New York to have another meeting with the CEO, just to tell them to go fuck themselves, and she's not picking either of them.
I choose neither of you. Auf Wiedersehen.
What?
I thought I was dealing with professionals. But apparently I'm dealing with two little girls, best friends, who can't do anything without each other.
Sorry, wrong movie.
No, instead Rocky decides to stand up to the CEO with a really cringy speech.
What's wrong with wanting to share something with your best friend? You may not care, but I'm proud to be friends with Avalon. Geekly Chic is our baby, and if you don't want to work with us on our terms, then these two little girls are gonna go find ourselves a bigger and better playground.
But they get published anyways. Walker knows someone, and that's... You know what? I've mentally checked out at this point, I'm gonna be honest.
High schoolers Hallie Brandon and Avalon Green had a chance at fame and fortune when media giant Burns Publications offered to buy their webazine, Geekly Chic. But the BFFs turned it down to stay true to their own indie vision. You go, girls.
Oh, my favorite newscast. Studio News. No lawsuits here. Also, why would this be a news story?
Girls, stop jumping on that bed.
Huh?
The fuck?
So all's well that ends well once again. We're almost done with this movie. My brain cells are almost completely dead. So now we just have Savannah's story, and this is probably the least painful one, as Savannah is the only decent character in this movie. Obviously she's not amazing, but she's the only one who's not a complete stereotype like the others. Like, she actually has a personality and feels the most like a real kid. And her actress Mary Mouther feels like the only one who's having fun in this role. So her story begins with showing her family of 3 brothers and a single father eat food and be gross.
Cause that's what men do.
Her father gives her some money to go to the mall, so she goes to buy some shoes. Oh my god, can Zendaya and Bella Thorne stay in their own goddamn story? They are all over this story for no reason. Like, bitch, you already got your own goddamn section. You're already an entire third of this movie. You don't need more. So at the mall is Emma, a rich girl who looks exactly like Savannah. So take your guess. Are they gonna rip off a Parent Trap, or... There's no second option. They're ripping off a Parent Trap. Except in a Parent Trap, it made more sense as they were long-lost twins, but in this movie, they just happen to look the same and live in the same area. Like, that's a huge fucking coincidence. So they run into each other at the mall, and because they really wanted to make a shake-it-up movie, Rocky and Cece introduced them to each other.
Alrighty, Savannah, meet Emma Reynolds, debutante ball queen who carpools in a limo. And Emma meets Savannah O'Neill, artsy jock girl who rides a mean skateboard.
Do you know those girls?
I've never seen them before in my life.
Me neither.
So they eat pizza in the food court and discuss how different their lives are and...
Okay, everybody's thinking it, so we're just gonna go ahead and
For
say it.
God's sakes, let someone else have the spotlight!
So they switch clothes and go to each other's houses, and all seems well as they get adjusted to each other's lives. But Savannah hates all the fencing and dancing classes and super high expectations for herself, and Emma hates Savannah's brothers.
You know, one of those is much less severe.
You know what? I take back what I said about the CEO being the only funny character in this movie. I actually really enjoy the butler, Pimberly. I like how he finds out about the situation, is completely fine with it, and even helps.
You won't tell?
Please. You have no idea the secrets I keep around here. That's why my Christmas bonus is so high.
What?
Pimberly knows some shit.
But they decide to stay in each other's lives as Emma starts dating Jake and Savannah becomes jealous and they fight.
Your boyfriend? If it weren't for me, he wouldn't even know you existed. Oh, so now he's your boyfriend? Maybe so.
My brain gets less efficient every second I watch this. Alright, let's end this. Emma has a huge birthday ball with a giant chocolate fountain, and this is a Disney Channel movie, so you know it's getting spilled on someone fancy. So Savannah breaks up with Emma's boyfriend Lance because he's a douche. And Emma switches back with Savannah, and Jake has this reaction to it.
Savannah? That's really you?
You know what, if I was Jake, I feel like I'd be a little more upset. I've been bamboozled.
Wait a minute. Now I have 2 ex-girlfriends? This is all because of you. Hey, calm down, buddy.
How the fuck do you miss a punch that badly? Like, there's following through, and then there's whatever that was. So Rocky and Cece start a dance party because of course they do. Emma gets the dog she always wanted, which you know she's not going to take care of because she immediately leaves it behind. And the movie finally ends.
I guess this all just goes to show, if you really care about your best friend, anyone can overcome being frenemies!
And that was Frenemies. It sucked. It's bland, boring, annoying, lazy, and really misguided. And that's even by Disney Channel standards. Like, at least some of the other ones have charm, good songs, or creative ideas, but not this one. Like, it's not the worst movie ever made. Some of the acting is alright, and I'll give them that most of the kids actually look like kids. Other real movies can't even manage that. But at the end of the day, it's just a mess, and it's not even the enjoyable kind.
And that's exactly what I was looking for, and I'm sure any story is going to seem amazing by comparison. What the hell's a creepypasta?
Life is just a crazy game.